Welcome back from your lunch. I hope you had a good break. I will introduce Karin Rodgers, who's our CMT kids. What do you call yourself, Karin?
They usually call me anything. I won't tell you what they called me last Saturday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, coordinator.
So Karin's been running CMT Kids for quite a few years now. Does a fantastic
job. I'll tell you about it.
And I'm gonna let her give you her presentation now and tell you all about how CMT Kids are and what they're up to.
Right, hi everybody. I'd love to say it's wonderful to see all your lovely faces, but I can't see you, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm talking to myself here, which is very, very strange, although not unusual for me, obviously. We've had some technical issues today, so unfortunately I can't do I can't share a PowerPoint or the photos that I wanted to. We're going to try something else in a bit. I'll take you through the Facebook photos. And we'll see how that is. Okay, so first of all, though, I thought I'll just tell you a little bit about CMT Kids, because I know some of you know lots and lots about it, and others have known nothing at all, and others are a little bit intrigued. So I hope you're intrigued, and I'd like to tell you a little bit more. So basically, I've been running the CMT Kids weekends for 20 years now. The first one I started was about 2001 when my son was then 14. There had been a couple of family weekends, or young persons weekends as they were called then, before, but we decided that they needed spicing up. So we began to look at how we could do that and help make our younger people with CMT feel less alone. I wanted it, you know, being a teenager with CMT myself, and having a child who was coming up to that age, I was well aware of the problems that were there. And as Wendy was saying beforehand, you know, it's very tricky when you're on your own, and at school you're dealing with all the bullying and the chatting and the being left out of PE and things. And I didn't want that for my child, and I didn't want it for any other child either, because I found school a horrible experience. You know, I was pretty intelligent, but absolutely hated everything about it because of that sort of thing. I just felt so left out. So I wanted to help kids feel a little bit more included and build the confidence a bit. And I think we've managed that to some extent. I know I do get some very nice comments and cards and things. So so we began our activity weekends, and very early on the kids decided on the name of the group themselves. They didn't like the name of the young person's weekend. They thought it was really patronising and serious, and they wanted to allow for all age inclusions. Thanks, Sophie. Sophie said it's amazing for the young people. We began. They wanted to allow for all age inclusion as we moved on. So we started off including people from about age 11 to 12, and now, as you'll hear as we go on, we do events for all ages, basically families right up to age. Well, I say the 18 to 30s group. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of them, really. Some of them. So our activity weekends, which are the main thing that we do, are basically for anybody affected by CMT, which includes brothers and sisters, or even children of CMT parents. You know, if your parents have got CMT, or one parent, then the whole family is affected, basically. You know, I had CMT. I couldn't take my kids on the things like the sports events and stuff when they were little, and I felt as if they missed out, and it would have been nice to have something that they could go to that just included them, and also help them to understand CMT a little bit better, and how they can help others with CMT, or any other physical disability, come to think about it. So we started off going to Bendry Trust in Kendal, or Calvert Trust in Keswick, which are both in the beautiful Lake District, and they're just stunning. The background is just stunning. So you know, we've just found it best for them to go there. And we have tried other venues in the past. I was going to show a slideshow of some things, but I'll show you some things in a little bit. But generally, we do all sorts of things like climbing. We go abseiling. We do canoeing, archery, potholing, caving, horse riding. We have campfires. We go swimming. We have games nights. Film nights, Halloween parties, all sorts of games and prizes. Basically, we don't stop laughing. We have lots of fun, and everybody does everything. We don't force people to do things, but I do say that I don't like the opt-out, oh, well, I don't like that, I'll stay out of it. There's always something different for you to do. And I say that if I can do it at my sort of dinosaur age, I do all the activities just to show people that, you know, and I'm worse affected than most of them, that actually if I can do it, then you can do it. You know, just give it a go. Because the support, there's so much support for people to do things. So they're not on their own. They're really not. And it's gorgeous to see people building in confidence when they see these, when they look at these activities and they think, I could never do that. So, you know, it's a very, very safe environment, and it's designed to help others get to know other people who've got the same experiences and have had the same experiences of them, and to push the boundaries in a very safe environment. And there's no chance of being bullied or feeling worse or less than anybody else. So that increases their confidence. And there's loads and loads of time for chatting and discussing things as well. So there's this sort of massive exchange of information going on. And the kids learn how to manage their CMT better. I'll often find in corners that people will be discussing things like how they've gone on at school or exams and things, or orthotics or surgery or something. So I'll gather another few people around and then we'll have a big chat about that, you know, and I'll bring other people in. We always do, basically we're based it on positive reinforcement all the time. We're helping and supporting people to get the best out of their lives, out of the specialist services that are around, and everything, out of school, their parents, their peers and everything. So it's all about working together and helping them get the best out of things. And often they will learn from each other. We have lots of sort of round table discussions where other people will pop in their advice and things. But I do like to supervise things so that we don't have any negativity going on, or any sort of anything that is incorrect information, basically. So yeah, it's, you know, you don't need to worry if you send your kids there that they're going to get any bad information or anything. And also on that point, I just want to say that in the sort of 20 years that I've been doing this, I've only ever had 2 episodes of sort of bad behaviour or slight bullying that I've had to correct and call parents on afterwards. So it's that sort of lovely culture that the kids have built up themselves. It's just so lovely and friendly and supportive. They're just a great bunch and they love to welcome new people along, including those upside down kids from Australia as well. We did that. So adventurous kids will obviously be attracted by the thought of the activities, but also the quieter and less confident youngsters gain so much as well. I'll never forget one young girl walking into the climbing wall, and literally she walked into the room of the climbing wall and just froze and was shaking and in tears, going, oh God, I can't do that, I can't do that. And she's watching everybody else climbing, going, no, I couldn't possibly do that. So we just sort of sat with her for a bit and just sort of chatted and showed her how things were and how the support was, and you know, the harnesses, how things worked. And by the end of the session, she'd had a go up the wall, came down and went, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. And then we couldn't get her off the wall. And it was just wonderful watching her grow like that, and watching her confidence and her whole presence. It was lovely. And obviously still in touch with that girl again. And that's not only the one time. We've got several others who've, you know, started to climb up the walls and physically, not literally, and maybe struggled, and then got there. And we have others who will set themselves goals each year to maybe go a little bit higher up a wall, or do a little bit more canoeing, or do a different activity that they didn't manage last year or something. So watching them meet their goals and indeed in most cases surpass their goals is wonderful. It's just wonderful. So yeah, it's lovely. I've just got a raised hand here. Jeffrey Stollard wants mic access. Do you still want to speak, Jeffrey? I think, do I allow him to join in? Is that what I do? Okay, I'll wait till somebody's spoken later.
Right, just wait to the end, yeah.
Oh, okay, right, that's fine. So other events we've had for other ages, we've had an over 18s weekend. We called it a CMT Big Kids weekend, where they did the same sort of activities but all together. We've had Legoland Day Out last year. Families went to Legoland. We've had a weekend in the New Forest. I'll say last year, it's the year before, isn't it? We've lost a whole year here, guys. And we've been to Matlock in Derbyshire. That was a great time. And we also now, because I can't seem to get rid of these guys. They love the CMT kids and their friends so much that we're now expanding things to these 18 to 30s weekends, which are, contrary to popular belief, they're not just a general drinking and sex parties. Basically, it's for them to get together, older people, so they can talk about things that aren't appropriate with the younger ones around. So they might want to talk about relationships, about marriage, about careers, about partnerships, anything that they want to talk about that isn't appropriate around the youngsters. We can get together during an 1830s weekend, and they're absolutely wonderful. Interestingly enough, we were chatting about this the other day. Most of our CMT teenagers and young adults don't tend to drink alcohol, or just a little bit, which is rather wonderful, because it means I don't have to control them too much. I think the mix of drinking alcohol and wobbly CMT feet doesn't really go very well. So we learned that very early on. So again, it's not that. So don't worry about that sort of thing. So yeah, I touched on we've grown throughout the years, and I touched on the upside down people who we've spoken. So in 2012, I received an email from a young lady in Australia called Gillian Critchley and her husband Peter, who'd read an article in Comment and wanted to know more about how to set up a youth weekend. So we agreed to partner together. She'd had a few people involved in Australia, and we agreed to partner together. As she said, there was no need to reinvent the wheel. So in the September of that year, they held their first kids weekend, and then 2 years later, they had a family trip to the UK, where we actually physically managed to meet each other, which was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. We had the most fantastic day, and we began to talk about the possibility of a CMT Kids exchange trip. How amazing would it be if we could get some of these young people from the UK over to Australia, and how could we do that? So so in true CMT Kids style, we did it. We just did it. We planned, we fundraised, we organised, did so many emails and chats and organising and things, and so much fundraising. Thanks to everybody who helped with that. And in 2016, a group of 12 of us went to Sydney for 2 weeks. And we went to, this was all organised by Gillian and Peter Critchley, amazing people. We went to Bondi Beach and the Blue Mountains, and we climbed Sydney Harbour Bridge, and we went to the zoo, and we went to Manly Beach, and we had lessons in surf lifesaving by a surf lifeguard who had CMT, believe it or not. So this guy is gorgeous. He was in his 60s. I think he was 63 then. And he actually had CMT, but hadn't told any of his colleagues, and had carried on throughout his life. Only discovered when he was 19 that he had CMT. But carried on his work, and he didn't want to tell people because, much like most people of our age, we're a little bit strange about disclosing that sort of information to other people, and particularly to our colleagues. Anyway, he carried on. He learned to surf lifeguard, and it was his life. And he just gave us this wonderful lesson, and it was so beautiful because he was talking to us about lifeguarding, about the lives he's saved and the activities, and how he swum in the sea every single day, and how his nickname was Carvesy. And then during this, one of his colleagues came in, and he said, and then he started talking about his CMT, and one of his colleagues came in and he said, "What do you mean? I don't understand. You mean you've got this condition then?" And he said, "Yeah, I have it." And it was the first time in like 40 odd years that this guy had disclosed to his colleagues that he had CMT. So it was wonderful. And yes, he was quite affected. He had a very, very big upper body, very muscular and toned, but these gorgeous little sparrow CMT legs as well. So it was very, very obvious. But it was a lesson and motivation for us. Basically, it was totally inspirational that he wanted to carry on his lifeguarding. He loved it, he adored it, and just carried on and did it. He'd made his own adaptations to how he could do things well. So that was him. Wonderful. And we also, of course, attended the Aussie Kids Weekend, which was amazing, meeting all those people, and realising that even on the other side of the world, people have the same problems, exactly the same problems with CMT, and the kids getting together and chatting about the same problems that they have in schools and with any operations or AFOs they have, chatting about shoes and the differences and similarities and things. So it was just wonderful. Lifelong friends were made, absolutely lifelong. It was wonderful. So we had such a wonderful time, and we realised that it was possible. So we began to plan for a reciprocal trip to the UK. So in 2018, the UK trip started, and again there were 12 Aussie kids with Gillian and Peter who came over, and we started, and we arranged a whole trip around the UK for them. They started off in London. We did London, Brighton, Stratford, Cadbury World and the Black Country Museum. We went to North Wales. We went to Chester. We went to Windermere, including a sail on the Windermere Lake. And then we did the Kids Weekend at Calvert Trust, which was just fantastic. 48 CMT kids all together doing the activities that they'd never had the chance to see before. So we showed the Australians basically what the Lake District was, and showed them that, England and UK can be absolutely beautiful. So we shared that, and they just loved it, I think. I think they did anyway. So then we went to Gretna, and then we did a final weekend in Edinburgh, and the Scottish coast. So we saw the Scottish coast there, and basically during that 2 weeks they'd visited England, Wales and Scotland and dipped the toes in the 3 seas surrounding it. So I think it was quite a good experience for them. They enjoyed it. So we're planning our next trip. So hopefully, fingers crossed, was supposed to be this year, but it's not. Don't know if it'll be next year now either due to COVID restrictions. But our big plan is we're trying to get people within New Zealand, as well as Australia and the UK, all together to do possibly a New Zealand trip or a different side of Australia. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So to do all this, we've had so many fundraising events and things that have gone on over the time. We've had triathlon where people we've had CMTers do a triathlon, doing it in relay. Somebody doing somebody who's good at cycling doing that, somebody who's swimming doing that, and then somebody else doing the walking or running bit. We've had also my daughter-in-law's done a couple of triathlons as well and marathons, which have been really fun and interesting. Cake sales. We've had fire walk. One of our young CMT lads, Nathaniel, did a fire walk 2 years ago in Chester, which was amazing. And he did say he had the advantage of having CMT feet where he couldn't actually feel anything. Which helped when he did the fire walk because he didn't burn his feet. Well, actually, he did burn his feet, but he couldn't feel it. So, yeah, it was amazing doing that. We've had music events and gigs going on. We've had ladies' circle evenings where they've held events for us and fundraised. Some masons have given money. We've had church coffee mornings and things. And at the moment, we've got something brilliant going on, because at the moment we're doing our virtual challenge. So this is wonderful. At the moment, we started off travelling from Land's End to John O'Groats. Now this is a virtual challenge where you sign up to a website or via an app, and many of you can actually do it. And what happens is you each do an activity. It may be walking, running, swimming, wheeling, any exercise, all sorts of activities that you can, basically anything you can transform into distance, and you input your activity into this site and it transforms that into miles or distance travelled. So I set the initial goal up, saying that we would go from Land's End to John O'Groats and ask for people to join us. And we've now got 16 of us from all over the UK and Spain. We've got Selena in Spain who's doing it as well, of all different abilities, some walking, some wheeling, some running, and some swimming, and some actually doing, I know Sam's doing a sitting cycle thing. I forgot what it's called, but basically it's a cycle machine where he sits on a chair and does this. And while he's been doing his revision and his work for his exams, I know that our Sam has been cycling this way and putting his distance into the virtual mission. So he's done really well with it. So our initial goal was Land's End to John O'Groats, which was 838 miles according to the distance it gave us. And we've got until the end of June to do it. But we've got a slight problem because at the moment we've completed 2,138 miles. So we've been up there and come back again and on our way back again. So I hope that we do get home eventually, otherwise we'll be stuck in some godforsaken place in the middle of Scotland somewhere. But it's been really, really good fun. People pay a small amount to join the virtual mission. because I have to pay for it through CMT Kids. But we've also got a Just Giving page set up, which is on our Facebook group, and I'll share again afterwards on all the Facebook groups. So through Just Giving, we're managing to raise money as well, which is lovely, because all the money that we raise obviously goes towards paying for the kids' places on the kids' weekends, and the other things that we do, because other things that we do are things like the information cards that have been shown already by Wendy showed them on her page, the friends cards and teachers cards that we have, and we've also got leaflets about CMT Kids, and we've got all sorts of information things that go on. We've got these little hand sanitizers here. We provide all sorts of information, advice and support for schools and colleges and parents and things. And we're currently writing a new leaflet for young people with CMT, and basically it's written by people with CMT, by the youngsters. I've been sort of gathering information over the last year, and that leaflet's nearly ready to be done now anyway. So during the last year, obviously we've been very restricted, haven't we, with COVID, obviously. Haven't been able to do our usual meetings, and it's been really, really sad and hard work for us. And so we started off, excuse me, my little dog sat next to me and he's having a scratch. Welcome, Rocky. I wanted to be on it. This is what happens with these home-based things. So I started off doing Zoom meetings. So come on, come off. I hope you have to stop laughing now. We started off doing Zoom meetings weekly to get everybody together, and didn't really know what to do first of all with the Zoom meetings. So we started off doing quizzes, and just to see how popular it was and how many people would be involved. But actually, it's been absolutely wonderful. It really has. Every single week we've had a Zoom meeting. We've had quizzes. We've had online games. We've had games nights. We've had escape rooms. We've had whodunit murder mystery weekends. We've had pantomimes. We've had so many catch-ups and support. It's been fantastic. And every week we've had a core of a few people who've been every single week, but then we've had new people join us and new people pop in and pop out again, and it's been lovely to be able to catch up and just keep together, and keep our CMT Kids family together. So we've not lost each other, and we've always been open to new people coming. I'd love new people to join us. It's great. And it's not just 11 to 18-year-olds. Most people who are with us are sort of older teens now, maybe over 16s to 25. And it has been really, really nice for them. I think everybody's appreciated it. Numbers are starting to drop a little bit now as life's getting back to the new normal. But we've still agreed that we're still going to have our Zoom meetings, but maybe reduce them to once a month rather than every week. So we will be carrying on those throughout, well, for as long as we want, really. It's our Zoom, it's our group, we'll do anything we want. So, that's how we're doing it. We've also... we have actually got for future. We have got our new our next Calvert Trust weekend booked for the 16th to the 19th of July. It's open to all age 11 to 19-year-olds, and I'm taking bookings now. And I'm hoping to do a Chester Zoo trip for families in August. And we're currently looking for a venue for an 18 to 30s weekend this year, which hopefully we'll get in real time this year, which will be good. And then next year is our 21st anniversary. So we're currently planning what should we do. We think it might be a reunion, CMT kids, because of course I'm a CMT kids grandma now, according to them. Or will we get to New Zealand? We don't know. So we'll try. So I hope you've enjoyed the I'll talk about CMT kids. Now, what you might want to know how you can help. Well, how you can help us continue this brilliant work. The first thing you can do is send your kids. Make sure all your children know about CMT Kids and the support that we give. Like I say, it's not serious. We never stop laughing usually, but it helps other people. It helps you know more about your condition and how you can manage it and how you can support it yourself. And I think the more knowledge you have, the more confidence you have, and how you can deal with life. And as Wendy was saying before, you know, that knowledge is power and information, and gives you control over your life. So, you know, even if they're a bit scared about coming on a kids' weekend, there are other things that they can join in with, and be involved. You know, if you've got any problems with schools or anything, I'm happy to get in touch with schools or send you information. We'll now do Zoom chats and video calls and things to schools and help. So yeah, I'll do anything like that. You can donate to our fundraisers. Please. Share, I'll just give insight and just donate to us, because each child, each place at Calvert Trust costs over £400, and I only ask for £100 donation, and that's a donation for each child. So as you can see, we do need to raise quite a bit of money each year for what we do. I don't take any money out myself. I'm not paid. I'm a volunteer. Every penny we raise goes straight into supporting the CMT kids or things that we produce. So you can purchase. We've got things like our T-shirts, which are really cute and really cool. We've got our little sanitizer bags and I don't know what they call them, these pointy things to stop you doing your when you're doing your keypads. They're pointers and hook things. All really good and handy nowadays, with the cards and the leaflets. So you could purchase something, or you could join in with our virtual challenge and do some miles for us and help us get home again back from Land's End and John O'Groats. But you could sponsor a child, a cost of £400, which would be wonderful. We could sponsor hoodies, or every weekend we have hoodies that match, so everybody has the same thing. You could sponsor those, or sponsor a print run or some gifts. Or can your business actually help us? Do you do anything at all that you can help? And it may be that you produce something for you know, that you can help us. So I'm just going to go through some photographs now, and you can think about your questions you want to ask me. So these are some from the last weekend that we had in 2019, doing the swing there, and that's at the place that we stayed down the hill. As you can see, this one here has got a plaster on the legs, 2 plasters there. So just because you've got plaster casts on your legs doesn't mean that you're limited. You can do anything. We all help each other on CMT Kids. Climbing. This family has got 3 kids. 2 have CMT. We've got wheelies there. This is a sensory room that we have that was really, really useful at night. where you could relax, all sort of beautiful music and everything. Oh, that was a different story. Some flowers out there. How nice. We're getting ready for the outdoor pursuits we were doing. We were canoeing, I think. Yeah, sorry about this. It was supposed to be more professional, but we have a problem with the presentation, as I said. So there's Emily there. She's got 2 plaster casts on her legs and crutches, and still managed to get in the canoe and enjoy the canoeing. She's going, "Don't take photographs of me." But look at that. I mean, you can't beat that scenery. It's fantastic. And you're all supported because the canoes are tied together. They're rafted together there so that you're not going to fall out or anything. That's a zip wire, climbing. And that was going back to the boats. This is a support that we get, that we're all helping each other with everything. Every picture you'll see is of us sharing things and looking after each other. This is in the climbing wall where we're all helping each other up the wall. It's just fantastic.
We better take some questions, Karen, or else we're going to run out of time.
That's great. I'll do some questions now then.
If
That'll stop sharing.
If people have got some. I've got Jeff and David Evans. I don't know if they still want mic access.
Do you want me to answer them?
Yeah, if you can.
Okay, I've got from Laurel, how many activity weekends do you have per year? Sounds amazing. We have at least one actual weekend for 11 to 19-year-olds. And then we have others as well, but definitely one. The year before we had 4. So yeah. My daughter from Rachel, and my daughter aged 12 would benefit hugely from joining this kids group. She's really nervous to join. Absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. Most people are nervous when they start. I'm nervous about starting new things. Go to join the Facebook group, or you join the Facebook group for her, or pop in one of our Zoom meetings, and then we can say hello, and she could just see the faces and see some names. Don't forget also, you can bring a friend. If she's aged 12, she can bring a friend with her, or a brother or sister or something, so that she doesn't feel so alone. Don't worry about that. But yeah, how do you convince your 12-year-old to try a new group? Are there other meetups perhaps online? No, this is the meetup, and I do encourage people to just stay within the official CMT Kids, just because I can monitor them, what's going on. Our Facebook group is private because I monitor everything that's written there. I don't want anybody going off-piste or giving bad information or anything else going out. So yeah, contact me if you need anything. We need to keep our kids safe at the end of the day. That's the most there. How many younger kids are currently members? Around 12 years. Well, believe it or not, that grows every year, and then those 12-year-olds grow up to 13 or 14-year-olds. So, yeah, just join us. Join us. That's all I'll say. Got another one. July Lake District weekend. Sounds great fun. Love it. Should we put in contact? Well, yeah. You need to contact the Facebook group. I don't put kids in contact with each other until I know those children. I know that I can trust them and I can trust what they're saying and things. I don't generally just contact the people together. You need to join the CMT Kids Facebook group. And if there's somebody nearby, give me a private message. And if there's somebody nearby and I know them, then I'm happy to put you in touch. But yeah, like I say, I've got to keep people safe. Okay, I seem to have lost the questions now.
I think that may be the last one. Oh, here we go. How do I get her to join Facebook?
Is there still time for our daughter? Yeah, just yeah, that's it. So yeah,
Brilliant.
love to speak to you all. I'm going to sit on one of the tables then, and if you want to come along and chat, please do, and I'd love to see you. Or drop me a message or join our Facebook group, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. That was wonderful, as ever.